Hey guys, a little bit of a different intro today because I needed to apologize for how long this video took to upload. The last video was overly ambitious. I was using my webcam as well as my phone, and I kept pausing my phone to do things in the webcam. And when I went to go edit it, I had about 2 hours of stuff that needed to move all around, and it was a nightmare. It took me a total of about 6 hours to edit it. I almost scrapped the whole project multiple times and just thought, I'll catch up with that stuff later or some other time, but there was actually some really good stuff, and it was kind of impactful in terms of my journey. So I decided to go ahead and tough it out, finish the video. But again, it took a long time, so I apologize for that. I think we're back on track now, and that's one of my biggest YouTube learning moments was biting off way more than I can chew without having prior knowledge of how to use a webcam with screen recording and different segmentations. And one of the things you'll see is that I had to blur some stuff, my customer names in the video, so I had to learn stuff like that too. I had to sync up the webcam footage with the screen recording, so it was just such a pain. But finally, happy that it's done, happy that I'm uploading it, and again, just wanted to apologize. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 25 to 1, where I chronicle my journey of taking my $25,000 a year company to 1 million. So it's Saturday morning. I wanted to do a recap of what I did this past week. I didn't have a lot of hard commitments made on Monday or Sunday night whenever I posted and filmed that last video. So it was more of like make progress in certain areas. But it was a super exciting week. I learned some things that are kind of crazy. I'm going to share with you things that I didn't know existed that are like supreme game changers. So if any of you guys have a website that you're trying to drive traffic to or that you use for sales, this tool that I learned about is absolutely essential. And let me tell you how I learned about it. So this past week, I attended 2 free webinars, and I've realized that there's a lot of free information out there. There's no need to go and pay. Like, I think maybe 3 episodes back, I was considering the idea of paying $2,500 a month for coaching. But the reality is, there's so much free information out there, at least for where I'm at in my stage right now, that kind of ridiculous to consider a $3,000 a month coaching program. However, one of the free webinars that I attended was for a $3,000 coaching program, but they allow you to pay over 6 months. But they did a webinar, which is not a terrible deal considering that this was a coaching program that was accessible to me. I also mentioned how most of these coaching programs need you to be doing $50,000 a month or 1 million per year in revenue before they even consider you. But let me talk about the 2 webinars that I attended and what I learned from them. And then I want to show you the tools that I learned about and what I did with my website to improve performance. So this is a key thing. This was important. So I want to show you what I did because this is exactly the kind of milestone that I want to chronicle. Over the past 2 days, I've done over $1,000 in sales. And I'm going to show you exactly what those sales figures look like. And I want to show you exactly what I did differently on my website to change that, and what I did differently in terms of using the tools that I learned, that I just recently learned were available to me. So when it comes to what this channel's about, what I'm trying to do, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy for me to be in this position. I'm 9 episodes into my YouTube channel, and I'm 2 months into documenting this journey. Of course, I keep saying a big portion of this is because it's just that the busy season, right? But it's such a huge milestone for me. But this kind of milestone is exactly what I want to chronicle. This is exactly how I think the business is going to keep growing. So for all 5 of you who are subscribed right now, please keep watching. If these projections are in any way accurate, by the end of the year, I will have moved from a $25,000 business to a $100,000 business. And I, of course, will share everything that I've learned and everything that I've done as I go through that process. So going from 100,000 to 1 million will just be a matter of scaling what I've learned. I've got some new product ideas that I'm working on. I've got new ad creative that I've made. and I've got another iron in the fire with actual retail placement. So there's just so much that makes this all exciting. So I hope you guys stick with me. The idea of creating a company that I can sell, making $1 million a year in revenue, seems so much more reachable than ever before. With that, let me show you the tools that I discovered this year that exist. Maybe some of you guys have already used them or even are familiar with them. It was new to me and it was a game changer.
If I go to ads library and I search for when it was a game, we can see the active creative that I have. So these first two are single images that I had to build. That's another thing that I did this past week. I built these single image ad creatives, and I really like them actually. The third one is part of Meta's Advantage Plus. Like they will go through your entire inventory on your website and just populate what they think people will like. And it's driven by AI. What do people spend most of their time pausing when they scroll? Now, with the David Fogarty video, he recommends using Trend Rocket. And we'll see in a second how effective Trend Rocket is. Davey Fogarty recommends using Trend Rocket. But here's the problem with Trend Rocket. Obviously, you get a lot more information from Meta Ads Library than you do from Trend Rocket. I think Trend Rocket might be a business that Davey Fogarty is endorsing or he has some stake or investment in, but it's not as effective. So from what I learned is use Meta Ads Library. The second piece from the second webinar that I attended, which was Entre Believer, and in my case, and this was a 2-hour webinar, I wanted to make sure that I got something out of it. And what I got out of it was brilliant. So the first thing I want to show you is their framework for how to think of growth. And here we are. They call it the pathway to success. Now, what's interesting is that my small business e-commerce flywheel is very similar to the red areas here. And hopefully I will present it tomorrow night. But the home run product, content that creates, optimized website, ads and marketing, data retention. I don't know what data retention means. They didn't really get into that. But they did show this, and it was cool that they did. I can identify with this. I know that like from 0 to 10K per month, which is what this red area shows, this is exactly what I'm obsessed with. Now, the weird kind of part is that from 10K to 100K, metrics, scalability, new products. Metrics, what does that mean? We're always looking at metrics, right? We're always seeing if our ads perform. We're always looking at our conversion rates. That starts from day 0, should anyway. So that is strange. Scalability. I'm trying to scale. That also started from day 0 for me. So I'm not sure what scalability means here. New products, I get that. New products is something that I need and that I'm doing right now. And I'm very excited about the ideas I have for new products. But it's just strange. It's like they're trying to create even with data retention in the red area here, they're trying to create a model artificially. And then 10K plus per month. Innovation, omnipresence, collabs, and affiliates. Is that really what is going to get you $100,000 in sales per month is collabs? I guess we'll see. I'll get there one day, and I guess I will be eating crow, doing collabs with who knows who. But as far as omnipresence, yeah, I do get that. I want every household in America to have one of my products. They have to have when it was a game, koozie. So if you don't have one, get yours today. Innovation, also day 0 though. Come on. That's what started this whole thing is some innovative idea, right? So I know more innovation is probably what they mean to say. But the third thing that I learned this week was I watched some random video about the third thing that I learned this week was a part of Davey Fogarty's video, which was about using an app called Clarity. And in order to use Clarity, you have to install Google Analytics. So I installed Google Analytics on my website, which is something that I knew was an option. I'm doing it for one of my other businesses, but I have not done it for when it was a game, my main business. So I installed it for when it was a game. You can see here that I did that on the 11th, which was this past Monday. And we can see the number of visitors to my site. And this is only 1 week's worth of data, so I have no idea what's really going on. Um, and I have to look back and see what happened Thursday. What? Anyway, I have to see what's going on there. But I installed Google Analytics so that I can install a secondary app called Clarity. And this thing is crazy. Like for anyone who's doing this, who's been doing this for a long time, this is small potatoes. This is obvious. This is, of course, something that they would know and do and have. To me, like mind blown. Microsoft Clarity allows you to see what people do when they go to your website. And this is an example. I haven't seen any of these clips. Whatever I'm going to show you now, I have not. Actually, let me refresh. So I just refreshed the page. What we are going to see now, we're seeing for the first time together. And again, it blows my mind that this is something that I have access to for free. So check it out. Like someone's on the page. This is obviously they're on their phone looking through koozies, looking at the koozie inlay, the design, looking at different koozie. I can see what they're doing. And if I have enough time, I can look through enough of these videos to understand what my customers are, what they're getting to, that they then decide they don't want to buy, or that they try to figure out if I'm a legit company or something like that. But look at this. This is crazy. This is being recorded. This is all for free. I have access to this for free. That's crazy. Watching what someone does. Of course, it's all anonymized, so I can't tell who the customer is or how to get in contact with them. But I do get information like this is from TikTok. I may have mentioned that I launched a TikTok ads campaign. Let's take a look at this one. Even information like the duration, the amount of time they spend on my website is right here. So the other person was 3 minutes on my website. This person is a minute and almost a minute and a half. And the other person was looking at koozies. This person's looking at wallets, purses, like I don't know what search they did, and when I think about scaling my business, it's this kind of thing that I realize I have to spend hours looking at what my customers are doing. So what that led me to do also this past week, and this is not that big of a deal, but it made a huge difference. And so I just want to show you before, when someone wanted to search for their team, they could only look here. They would have to know that this magnifying glass meant search. And to me, I thought everyone knew that. I thought everyone who wanted to search knew to look for a search button. But that's me being naive again and not understanding my customer experience. So one of the things that Microsoft Clarity showed me was that customers were scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. They were looking to find their products. None of them put it in the search bar. And so, God, I mean, like, think about how big of a realization that must have been for me. So I was like, either A, they don't know there's a search bar, or B, they're just browsing. But I leaned heavily to A. They didn't know that you could search. So the second thing I did was this. I had to figure out how to install a search bar before they got to the products to tell them you can search for anything you want. And let me show you what that resulted in the past 2 days. Since I installed the search bar, this is the number of orders that I've got. In total, it's about $1,000. So these are the incremental kind of changes that I hope I can chronicle effectively for anyone else who's following me on this journey. It's a long way, again, from making $1 million a year. I don't want to be naive. A lot of it has to do with the fact that it's the busy season. But I do know that me making it easier for my customers to buy things, I'm going to take some credit for that. It's kind of like Squid Games, right? Just because you made it out of that first game doesn't mean you know how to solve the second one that's coming. But I'm super happy with what I have managed to solve on my own. So thank you.